Chapter 7 Reminiscence 2. Hello, Dr. Vera. How are you doing? It's nice to see you after such a long time. How was your seminar? I asked to Dr. Vera. Hello there, I'm doing good. Thank you, Sanaya. It was a nice experience traveling and learning with doctors from all over the world. So, what will you have, tea or coffee? He offered. I would love a cup of black coffee, doc. Thank you, I said. Is black your favorite color, Sanaya? He said. No, doctor, it's nothing like that. Why do you ask? I said. I just asked because you are in black from head to toe, except from your brown straight hair. I thought maybe it was some kind of theme for today, or you must really love the color, he said. No, doctor, nothing like that. Okay, let's continue the session, he said. But first, let's recap where we left off from last time. Dr. Vera played the last part of the tape and then I continued. That evening, people started to come for the party, and the theme of the party was Hollywood. So, most people were dressed heavily, like with gowns, tuxedos. Many looked like Hollywood celebrities, and the music was based on Hollywood movies, which was the only thing that I liked about the whole party that night. Later, I went to my room and tried to sleep with cotton balls in my ears to ignore the noise coming from the next room. I fell asleep for a while but woke up due to a stupid nightmare. I realized the party was still going on. I needed to go to the kitchen to have some water. As I slowly opened the door, I could see that many guests had left. It was around 11:30 at night, and a few guests were still there. So I went into the kitchen and brought some water to my room. After a while, the party was over and I slept. Before I slept, I realized nobody even wished me on my 16th birthday. I realized that neither I had my mom nor my dad by my side. It was the saddest point in my life, but I knew I could not help myself with that. I understood that after a couple of minutes crying while looking at my mother's photograph. On my previous birthday, my mother and I used to have a lot of fun. We used to cut a cake, invite some of my friends, and they used to bring all sort of gifts. But that birthday was different. Nothing like that happened, and as it did before. No one even noticed it was my birthday. School reopened and I was in 10th standard. I knew most of my subjects well, but I wasn't very good at mathematics. I made so many friends because of my section was changed in between. I made more good friends in my new class than in my previous class. Time flew by so fast, and my first test was knocking at my door. I was really worried about my mathematics. I had talked to my aunt about it, so one day she invited a man to our home. I was quite sure that I had seen him before, but couldn't remember where. My aunt asked if I remembered him. He was Mr. Vishal. He was at the house party. I greeted him, and as the introduction session was going on, he told me he was not a co worker of my uncle or aunt, but was there to help me with my mathematics problems. Aunt told me he was the brother of her boss and he had agreed to help me with my mathematics. She asked me to cooperate with him, and I just nodded my head as a symbol of agreement. Soon I was so happy with the results. Sums that I had never even dreamt of solving were getting easy. Gradually, I trusted him completely. He was so caring and used to treat me like he had known me since my childhood. He used to bring ice creams during study hours and even used to bribe me with cakes to motivate me to solve different problems. Within a month, we had a very good bond. After a while, he asked me to start the preparation for the board exam using old question papers so that I wouldn't have any problem. I agreed because many chapters were already covered, and there were just 4 months left until my school reopened after all the holiday. So the next day he took permission for my uncle to go to the market and buy some question books and guides for my examination with me. My uncle and aunt had full faith in him as I was improving, and he was the brother of their boss. After we went to the bookstore and bought some books, he insisted that we go to an ice cream parlor. He held my hand while crossing the road, and it was the first time he had ever held my hand. So we went in, and I asked Vishal sir for a vanilla ice cream with chocolate chips. He brought an ice cream with two big pieces of black forest cake. He even helped me slice the cake and fed me the first spoon. It was a little awkward situation for me, but I ate it anyway. After that day, I realized he was caring for me more than a teacher cares about a student. During study hours, he used to tap my shoulder when I solved the questions. If my hair fell down on my face while writing, he used to put my hair around my ears, and his eyes used to set on me more than on the textbook. I started feeling very strange, and a strange hint of fear was growing in my heart. Though my uncle and aunt were home during my tuition, my door used to be closed so that no one could disturb me while I studied. One day, as I was solving a question, bowing down my head, I was confused about something, and suddenly I pulled my chin up to ask for a question. I hadn't realized Vishal sir was sitting so close that I didn't even clearly see his face and suddenly stepped back. As day passed, his physical touch in the excuse of tapping or explaining a sum or even giving an ice cream has reached its height, and I was really uncomfortable with that. One day while studying, he tried to touch me in wrong places. Shocked, I ran out of the room within seconds. After that day, I was really scared of my tuitions with Mr. Bishal. For a few days, I pretended to be sick and avoided my tuitions, but it was not going to help me in the long term. I was not even able to tell my aunt and uncle about this. I don't know why. From my perspective, it was kind of a morass situation where I wasn't able to see a simple escape. Finally, I made up my mind and told my aunt one day on our way back to the temple how I was being harassed by him. She was really shocked and even tried to deny it, but after I told her every incident from holding hands to fake illness, she could not avoid the truth. She told me she simply couldn't complain to his boss about his brother or even go to police because her life depended on that job. So, for everyone's good, she decided to put me in a hostel. And, doctor, I jumped from the roof of that hostel. Dr. Vera opened his eyes wide open. What? Chill, doctor, I was just joking. Time is up for today. See? I said, laughing. That was a bad joke, Sanaya. But here, please take this phone. You have got so many missed calls and message from Robin. Who is he? Something feels fishy out here, huh? Doctor said. No, doctor, it's nothing like that, what you're thinking right now. He's just a friend and my landlord, actually. Even if there was something fishy, I can't trust anyone enough. Why not? Look at this, Sanaya. Dr. Veera shows a painting of a beautiful rainbow. Do you like rainbows? Yes, doctor, but why are you asking odd questions suddenly? I said. It's not an odd question, Sanaya. Without a little rain, you cannot get to see the rainbow. Just like that, you have to give a chance to see yourself through some rains with someone and to know what make you happy or sad or excited or angry. It's just like a little rain before a rainbow. You know what I mean? You have to find out what kinds of things makes it right as rainbows in your life, he said. If it doesn't work out as you hoped, even after trying hard and making a few sacrifices, you have to give up on it completely. The sun will rise again and someday it shall rain again because it's a natural process. It's applicable to our feelings and emotions, which too are natural. You can neither avoid nor control them. You just have to channel them towards a better life in order to be strong and in order to find something that is truly yours. I'm saying there are steps that you must pass, like what you experienced before, and many will come in future. Your experiences are the elements that shapes you. You have to give chance. Don't think of it as you leaving things to chance and giving it to people, but think of it as you yourself taking a chance to know the next person or situation or even knowing yourself better, well, and more. I'm not asking you to blindly trust and depend, just don't take those experiences for granted. Try to get a chance to know each other, he said. Well, I guess I get what you mean, maybe, doctor, I said. Sanaya, do you have a faith in me? He said. Yes, Doctor, why? Come here. Dr. Veera gives me a hug and asks, is it too weird for you? No, doctor, it's nothing weird at all. Okay, I think that you are going to take advantage of today's session. We will see each other next week. Have a nice day to you, Sanaya. He said, thank you so much, doctor. Bye.